ages of players, because Stingray's not a new player anymore, but he's not really an old player when you compare him to like Cody Travis or Phazon or Boomy, but he's also not like Experience in Made or Walshy and Cutie here. But you have like Santy, who definitely is an old player for sure. So you have old and sort of new meeting together for this team, and it's an unlikely team.
Yeah, definitely an interesting one. Wouldn't generally put them together, but we'll see how well this works out. Of course, they're here in the top 12 trying to fight for their spot in the top 8. Walshy going to come in, get that neutral sig, and a great follow-up off of Cutie. Almost takes out Santy.
We're seeing more classic Val picks coming out. We see the Akuma, and we see the Stefani as well here. And we also see more Rayman, that is the Dawson pick, coming out from Cutie. So a lot of Gauntlet Legends being played now in 2v2.
It's so interesting noticing like the regional variances, right? Like Australia really likes their Orions, EU of course likes their Olgrims, NA. They're starting to like their Vals and their Raymans a lot.
Now we still have Stingray coming in here with the classic pick. I feel like most fans out there, if they're like, okay, what legend do I want Stingray to play? Because he shops around quite a bit. Everyone wants to see the Orion. That's what really put him on everyone's radar in terms of like the top level of Brawlhalla Esports. So this is what we love to see as fans. Now he's having a little bit of a tough time, not too tough, because he is really yellow in his second stock compared to everybody else except Cutie, who's still on first stock here. Meanwhile, Santy, you gotta be careful this game. They do get the stock off of Cutie there, so everybody's on 2 except for Santy.
Yeah, Santy likely going to be the target of this blue team. Cutie comes in, almost catches with the N-Sig, but it's going to be the N-Sig from Walshy that catches Stingray. They're swinging hard, another N-Sig, not enough.
Still doesn't KO, dude. That Val N-Sig, there was one time where it seemed like it was one of the most potent signatures in the game. Pavelski was one of the players out there completely exploiting that. N-Sigs all over the place to catch aerial opponents, even some almost grounded opponents. Santy taken out of the game, and we can see, oh, that's going to be a punish for sure. Oh, wow, okay.
Okay, they're still going off stage. Definitely improv, but it works out. They and their way to a victory. 4 stock advantage to Cutie and Walshy.
Wow, that team combo at the end was really interesting to see, because normally they'll do like 1 hit back and forth, maybe sometimes 2, but then it'll get to like 2 hits to 1 hit to 1 hit to 1 hit to 1 hit. But this was like, it started off with I think 3 from Cutie. Is there any way we can roll that back a little bit earlier in the replay?
Too late. They're going into the next one. Don't have time for it.
I'm sure there's a version. Okay.
Production.
Okay.
Heroes.
Sandwick on the replays.
Unsung.
My goat. Okay.
Wait, this is the wrong clip?
Yeah, that's okay.
Good try, though. You know what? Good try. Good effort.
They'll get it on Monday.
Next time, we'll get it. But game number 2, Stingray with the swap over to the Bryn, hoping that the axe will be the thing that he needs.
I feel like if I was looking at Stingray last game, I didn't feel stellar about really either weapon. And if I'm looking at the numbers on it, he dealt 108 with Lance and then 143 with Spear. So 38% with Lance and 46% with Spear. So really no good swing one way or the other, but I'm guessing he just feels more comfortable with the Spear as compared to the Lance, which is a choice some players are making, but also a lot of players are making it in the other direction, really leaning on Lance and 2s.
Yeah, I mean, Spear generally pretty solid, right? We'll see people who play Gauntlet switch over to the Wushang. We've seen Sword players switch over to the Hattori and the like, and you know what? It's working pretty well. Santy is surviving longer here in Game 2, and Stingray is also putting out the damage. Cutie and Walshy on their second stocks.
We'll see if Santy can keep this going, because he's really only in the yellow on this first stock, and Val does have some solid defense going into this one, so that'll help him as well.
Sidesick comes in, manages to only catch Stingray, bringing that stock count a little bit closer. Team combo needs to finish, and it will!
He must have just had enough frames of stun for that final hitbox of the side signature to make contact. I thought that was going to be a drop for sure, but no, that sort of final blast or shimmer of that side signature made contact.
Santy coming out of the combo and immediately emotes, gives him the flower raspberry there, but you know what? He can get away with it. He's got that health advantage.
Now we're coming into this one with Cutie very much in the red, almost taken out there from the axe neutral light of Stingray. Cutie over on the side. Saw the 1 exclamation point. Nothing too scary to worry about just yet. He was able to get safely back on the platform. There's the side light. Ooh, almost eats the bottom side of the recovery from Stingray. Gets away from that, but it's still close enough to punish with the recovery of his own. Cutie, first one on final stock, but everybody else is red.
Yeah, lots of damage has been put out. Walshy able to keep that stock count even. They're bringing this one close. That Saren might not be enough, and Cuty's in position. Santy going to finish the stock.
He is going to get shut down. That means Walshy picked up 3 knockouts on that second stock alone. That is going to be all 3 knockouts so far have been picked up by Walshy.
That was really high in the sky. Walshy does end up getting that neutral signature for another KO. Everyone's on final stocks.
Now Santy's going to be hunting for that weapon. We see the weapon spawn there. Everybody actually dips away from it, giving him plenty of room to go grab it. They maybe wanted to focus on Stingray for just a moment. Didn't really find too much purchase with it.
Yeah, not sure if there's any obvious targets, but Walshy picks up 2 with the end sig. Stingray disarmed on the left side. Exclamation point starting to come out. The ground pound connects. It's all left to Santy.
Great ground pound, great edge guard, great setup to all of that coming out from Walshy. It seems like they're looking to set up the team combo. I'm not sure exactly what they're looking for. Cutie just seems to be throwing out a bunch of recoveries here. There was the neutral air. I'm thinking Walshy wasn't even close. Okay, there we go. Walshy was close enough this time.
And Sig? And it'll KO. Cutie and Walshy, they set up for it. Like you said, you saw Walshy swap from the gauntlets over to the sword and wants to avoid that same move DI. Cutie was going for a bunch of those setup tools with those nairs on the gauntlets. It ended up being a Sair, and it ended up working out.
So on that one, we saw that Santy was like stuck in the sort of like horizontal animation where you're flying towards the blast zone. And then all of a sudden, right at the end, he went vertical. I'm not sure if that's because the side signature hit and that's like where it oriented the character, or if that was like the exact frame that he came out of that animation of being sent towards the blast zone in hit stun. Pranav, send me that replay. Thank you.
Shoutouts to the people in the back, and another great team combo. Yeah, that side sig in particular, right? That gauntlet one that we keep going back to at the beginning of the set, or sorry, the beginning of the game. It was so wild because, like you said, it looked like it was almost done. It looked like it was going to be one of those drop situations, but it had just enough on the tail end of it to lead to a KO.
Pranav, while you send me that, can you put a note in there that says, look at the side signature and the final frames, because I'm going to end up forgetting
and you just be like, oh, there's a cool replay.
Because that's what I did with the first replay that you sent me. But the second replay, I looked at it, and it was just nothing. There was nothing worthy of note. I looked at it last night.
All right, well,
thanks, Pranav.
Good on you for doing your homework as we get into game number 3. Walshy and Cutie currently up 2-0, but these haven't been complete washes. The red team has been good about keeping these close.
That was a nice dash inside signature coming out from Cutie on that. Okay, they get the 3. Oh, they somehow turn it around and pick up the other member of the red team, starting this one off strong, and all the other games were strong too.
Some really great damage picked up. The side sig from Walshy as well on to Stingray. Santy going to just sit on that side, hope to survive until Stingray can come back in. Gets to the wall safely. Currently unarmed, though, and Stingray's trying to give some room for Santy, but Santy has not found any footing. Finally picks up some gauntlets, gets a sidelight.
Now, keep in mind, we are on Miami Dome here. That does give those soft platforms for players to go over to and sit on. That gives them room. Okay, taken off the top. That's a nice way to answer back. It's 5 stocks to 4, but the split between the two on the red team does leave them in a little bit of a rough spot, because now Stingray's in the 1v2. See if the blue team can clean this one up. No, they're not really putting too much pressure on him whatsoever, as Santy is spawning back in, even though he doesn't have a weapon. Now he's going to go over towards it. You saw him move a little bit to the left, but he got caught, so it took a minute before he was able to grab those gauntlets.
Yeah, blue team opted for stage control. They wanted to just stay on the main stage, just keep that space, and wait for the other person to come in, because they know Stingray can get taken out whenever they need to. The end sig will do it. Santy now has to play that power play, and he's going to go aggressive this time.
And if you look at the damage that they were able to add up on the second stocks of the blue team, like, I'm not too worried, even though it's 4 stocks to 3 here. Santy about middle of the way through orange, maybe 2/3 of the way through it, but Cutie and Walshy are both red. Walshy taken off the top. They have the 2v1 advantage for just a moment. They're not able to turn it into too much. Okay, at least Santy threw out the unarmed side air. I feel like Santy has been unarmed quite a bit.
Yeah, Santy has had trouble picking up weapons, but Stingray has been able to hold on to a weapon for quite a while, so it hasn't been an issue. But Cutie hits the side sig. Everyone's on final stocks. Red team needs to win here in order to stay alive in the upper bracket.
We are reasonably even, but all of a sudden, Stingray just took some serious damage. He's going to have to be very careful. Hopefully, he'll stay towards the center of the stage a little bit more. You see him disengaging a little bit, but in comes that neutral light from Walshy because Stingray's in the orange. That sent him pretty far. That gives possible power play potential if the opportunity presents itself. Like you have Walshy there. Oh, he picked it up again. That's the second NSIG he's picked up 2 members of the red team with.
Yeah, Stingray was returning to the stage. The NSIG comes out onto Santy, but catches Stingray and leads to a KO. Team combo, weapon toss, and cxti and Walshy with the synchronized B ballin to close it out 3-0.
Man, I mean, I knew that they would be balling, but I'm sure there are some people out there that said that they would never be balling, and they're spitting out their cereal as we speak because cxti and Walshy take that set. No sweat for them, it seemed like. Such confidence coming out from them, really solid team play.
Yeah, just amazing moments all around from cxti and Walshy. They've got themselves into the top 8 now.
So I did mention that it seemed like Santy was unarmed a lot. And I'm looking at the numbers now, and they kind of support that. If we look at the damage spread across gauntlets, sword, and the unarmed kit, we're seeing 340 damage coming out from the gauntlets. That's 52% of the total damage he did. 24%, which is 74 points of damage, coming out from the sword, but 25% on unarmed. So Santy, who has played sword pretty much all of his career, he did more damage that game unarmed, and it wasn't very much.